So from plates to portion sizes, Erin Patterson has today been accused of repeatedly lying to the jury in her triple murder trial.
Accused mushroom murderer Erin Patterson back in the witness box for a sixth day. Questioned about the plates she used to serve the beef Wellingtons. Patterson denying she'd taken the extra precaution of using a different and smaller plate to the rest of her guests.
I don't have 5 plates the same, so somebody would have had different plates. I don't have 4 plates the same either. When I plated the food, it wasn't for particular people.
Patterson accused repeatedly of lying, that she'd lied about only eating a small portion of beef Wellington.
I didn't have a tape measure, it's all approximate.
That she'd lied about vomiting afterwards to try and account for why she didn't get as sick as her guests.
I wish that was true, but it's not.
Patterson disputing a hospital doctor's evidence that she asked no questions despite learning her guests were sick from death cap mushroom poisoning.
I definitely tried to ask questions. He may not have heard me. He was very busy. I remember saying to him at the very least, "Why do you think we've eaten death cap mushrooms?"
The prosecution putting to Patterson that she was stressed during the hospital visit.
I suggest that you were shocked that the doctors were onto death cap mushrooms so quickly and you were worried you were going to get caught. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect. I don't think anyone tried to ask me that question, so I don't know what you're referring to.
Erin Patterson has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
For the latest on the case, crime and justice reporter for The Age, Erin Pearson, was in court today. So Erin Patterson was accused of lying a number of times today. How did she react to that?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of reaction from Erin Patterson in the courtroom today. She was asked many different questions about, I suggest that you did this or did that, or this was the motivation behind your actions. And most of her answers were, I disagree, or no, you're incorrect. There wasn't a lot of emotion at all today. There was a little bit of confusion, particularly around some questioning we heard this morning about a weight loss surgery appointment. The jury had been told by Erin Patterson that she had booked for September 2023. Now, this was part of her evidence that we heard late last week, that she said that she was allowing her family members to think perhaps that she was unwell and may need surgery because she wanted to keep this weight loss surgery, this gastric band sleeve type surgery, a secret from her family. And it was during her evidence last week that she named a clinic. She said it was the Enrich Clinic in Melbourne, where she had an appointment, a pre-operative appointment, to go and see a specialist there. But when Nanette Rogers SC took to the stand this morning, the Crown Prosecutor fired off questions about that appointment straight away and said, Miss Patterson, do you know that it's a cosmetic clinic and it doesn't actually perform weight loss surgery? And it was at that point Erin Patterson appeared quite confused and said, well, she believed that's the surgery that she was going for.
Erin Patterson was grilled over her movements after she discharged herself from hospital. What did the prosecution say?
Yeah, so we know that she went to hospital 2 days after the lunch at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and she was there for about 10 minutes, and she told staff that she needed to leave. She wasn't prepared to be admitted to go to a Melbourne hospital. She thought that she may just have gastro and need some IV fluid. So she said that she needed to go home and sort out her pets, her animals, and sort out her children as well, and will be back shortly. But the jury were told the evidence is that she actually didn't return to hospital for an hour and 38 minutes. The prosecution today suggested that Erin Patterson didn't go home to organise her life before intending to go back to hospital. Perhaps she just left because she was worried that the medical staff had coined on to the fact that death cap mushrooms may be involved so early on, and she needed to make preparations. We also heard that there was some cell tower data that placed her mobile phone southwest of Leongatha during this time. Erin Patterson denied all of those allegations and said, no, she went home, she had a bit of a sleep, took care of what she needed to take care of, and then returned to the hospital just before 10 a.m.
You mentioned Patterson's children. Today she was interrogated about her reluctance to take them to hospital. What do we learn about that?
That's right. It's a question that's been asked of Miss Patterson many times during this trial, and it was a particular time when she was at Leongatha Hospital that the jury have been told it was first raised with her that she needed to bring the children in to be examined. Potentially they may have ingested some of the lunch leftovers. She was asked, yes, did you have a reluctance to stay? Did you have a reluctance to bring them into hospital and have them treated? Because that was the evidence of some of the other witnesses. And Erin Patterson said, no, that's not true at all. She didn't have a reluctance to bring them in. She just wanted wanted to find out a little bit more about why they wanted them to come in and what that would involve. And that's when she mentioned today the evidence of a Dr. Webster, Dr. Christopher Webster, who was at the Leongatha hospital. And she said that the way that he spoke to her made her feel like it was quite a bizarre exchange. And she alleged that he yelled at her, which she now says she realises after he gave evidence that that was really his inside voice. But that made her quite anxious and was one of the other reasons that she may have been or appeared to be a bit stressed at the time.
All right, many more threads will be pulled on, I imagine. Erin, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, guys.